Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show where after the collision, we sift through
the wreckage, boy.
Nice. I was going to do it if you didn't. I am your host, Jimmy T. He is the best in the world, Jamie the Vet Williams, and we are live on Hammy Media Group's YouTube channel and, of course, on the Twitch and on hammymediagroup.patreon.com, where you can check us out after the fact. Vet, we don't have the professor with us right now. Hopefully he's all right. He could still join us, but I guess it's getting pretty stormy over in his neck of the woods in Bombay, New Jersey.
Yeah, there's a new ice age coming, apparently, in the United States. And we just hope everybody's doing all right. Hope everybody's safe and warm inside. Professor may be experiencing some internet issues, but hopefully everybody that's here obviously is not. So who do we have with us? And of course, we're going to start out with thanking Scott Woodford.
Wow, already. With the $1.99 super sticker. Thank you, Scotty.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it has been a busy week in pro wrestling. We got the Royal Rumble coming up, obviously, this week. Can you believe they built a friggin' stadium within 20 days, if that?
No, I can't. Why did they do that?
Did.
Why didn't they just put it in? Why didn't they just put it in the one they had the Royal Rumble in before? That had 40 people in it.
Yeah, but that place, as big as it looked, it didn't look that big. I think this time they wanted, I guess, a capacity of over 50,000. I think that joint that you're talking about holds no more than 35, something like that, which is still big. Don't get me wrong, obviously. But I don't know why they built a friggin' stadium just for this, but they did it in record time because I'll tell you now, I hate to say this, but they don't have a good track record when it comes to the laboring over there, if you know what I mean.
Why they wait? They knew about this Royal Rumble a lot longer than 20 days.
Can you imagine WWE absolutely stressing out about it? Like, man, it's this month and you still haven't even started on the freaking stadium. Yeah, crazy, dude. That is crazy. But you know what? They managed to pull it off, man. And I guess it's going to be ready now come Royal Rumble.
All right. Well, don't rumble too hard. We don't want to. We don't want to shake the building to its very foundations.
Actually, that's a good segue. That's a great, absolutely. I hope nothing goes wrong too, because I think it's a temporary stadium too, if I remember correctly. But
oh my god, a pop-up stadium?
Yeah,
it's like,
dude,
what is this? A Halloween store? What the fuck?
Actually, have you seen it? Have you seen any pictures yet?
Not really.
I should probably show you guys what it looks like. Do you want to see it?
No, I don't really care.
Fine, that's fair enough. But speaking of, you did the Vinnie Mac voice there, and now I don't believe any of this, but a lot of people are crapping on that apparently Vinnie Mac, that is Vincent Kennedy McMahon, is wanted back in WWE.
Wait,
do you believe
you said? Did you say is wanted?
Is wanted by TKO apparently to come back and take over from Triple H. I don't believe any of this shit, to be honest. But that's
like what's the source on that?
Good
random
question.
Guy on Twitter.
No idea. I actually heard it on what's it called? Oh, wait a minute. We got the professor in the house suddenly.
God damn it, the snow! Jesus Christ, the snow! Snowing up there. What the hell's wrong?
Yeah, dude, we're saying. I mean, how bad is it in your neck of the woods?
It's very bad, Jimmy. It's very bad. You know, it's already 10 inches of snow right now as we speak.
Wow, that's bad, actually. That's pretty bad. Well, anyway, we're just talking about Vinnie Mac apparently coming back to WWE. The sources for me was Cafe de Rene, and he was talking about it with the master of pro wrestling. I forgot his name, but that's what he calls himself. And they apparently were talking about, and they believe it. I personally don't believe it. I laughed at it, and that's not something I would have reported on. But you just reminded me when you did the Vinnie Mac voice, Vet, that I thought I'd bring it up anyway.
So let me get this straight. They they orchestrated this whole thing to get him out of there, and now they want him back in there.
Supposedly. It doesn't make sense. I know. It's true.
It makes perfect sense, Jimmy. You know that. It's called a tax incentive write-off. It's all about the money.
Well, whatever the case. Well, Prof, do you believe in it? Have you heard about this?
I've heard about the Vinny stuff coming back into the TKO family. I think it was Vet's favorite news source, Self-Made Pro or something like that. You know, he always gives us those good news outlets right there. So, you know, whether you want to, you know, trust me, bro, or not, it's neither here nor there. But, you know,
hot on the scene, Self-Made Pro.
If Vinny Mac is going to come back on the scene, you know what? We will know by next week, guys. We will know by Saudi Arabia, because that's perfect territory. That's perfect non-extradition territory for Vinny Mac to make an appearance at Royal Rumble.
Can you imagine that? Oh my God. Oh man, I hope that doesn't happen, but who knows? Speaking of the Rumble boys, I mean, I could have sworn I didn't even notice there was a Royal Rumble coming up. I mean, the promotion for this event has been abysmal, to say the least. And Vin, I'll ask you first, do you think it's because they're in Saudi Arabia and they don't really want to promote it? But then again,
yep,
you got ESPN to also please, because they want people to tune in to watch the damn event. So what's going on here, Vin?
Well, this is kind of the thing that happens when you get too many cooks in the kitchen that have to serve too many masters. Like, you have the public facing masters you have to serve, and then you have the secret underground masters that you have to serve. A lot of serving going on. Yeah, and everybody's got their own story. Everybody's got their own narrative. They're all saying whatever they need to say at the time, whether it's a press conference, a press release. I just this whole thing's, I mean, it's always been a circus, like a literal circus. Like this is where this started. It started in the carnivals and the circuses, right? And in some ways it never left. Just because you put pinstripe suits on it and go into the city to get $100 haircut or whatever doesn't mean you're not a carny hick hillbilly, you know? So, you know, this is what we have to deal with. It's just new to us because there's never been a point in time where more people, and it's still a small percentage, but more people are just digging into the minutia of all these business things. And not only that, but on top of these people with this minutia, their information pipeline is so polluted because you have so many people like Self-Made Pro or whatever just saying bullshit and throwing rumors out there completely unfounded. There's no fact checking on the internet. We can just say something right now. We could just make it up and act like, and we could just say, hey, that's just what I heard, right? And so can everybody else on the planet. So, you know, journalism is not vetted, pun intended. Its information is not fact checked. You can't even trust your fact checking because you're getting your facts from some other thing that's not a fact. You know, this is a weird state that we're in right now because technology is at an all-time high point as far as what we can do, right? Which means that all the information that we're getting is corrupted. Whereas back in the 80s or whatever, if you were lucky to get a paper copy of Meltzer's newsletter, you might know some of this shit, right? And it's still rumors, but you had to go more out of your way. You had to send in stuff in the mail. You had to go get the mail. You had to read words, you know, like you actually had to read it with your face. So it's, you know, what was the original question?
Well, no, you answered the question, really. Oh, okay. I mean, about Vince McMahon.
I got an announcement. I got an announcement, Jimmy.
What's that, Prof?
I didn't want to let the cat out the bag because Vet, you know, he's keeping it kayfabe right now. Me and the Vet are gonna start a wrestling news source, totally truthworthy. It's called the Clean Sheets. We don't give out the dirt. We give out clean truth all the time. And for all the Hami nights right now, all you got to do is pay us $29.99 a month, and we will give you the cleanest truth of wrestling news ever. It's a bargain.
That's a freaking bargain.
It's a steal at twice the price. The hot, fresh linen. And the hot and fresh linens.
I'll be paying twice the price, and that's still a bargain.
Get 2 subscriptions.
Yeah,
And if you get 1 million subscriptions, it's only $30 million.
that's nothing. It's cheap, dude. Come on. Actually, you guys remind me. That's got to be the news segment for our news show right now. Our news segment, the clean sheets.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I think that was a great freaking thing what you just said. I think that's going to be the new thing from moving forward. When we talk news, it's called the clean sheets. I'm going to have to come up with some little graphic for that. But anyway,
it's going to be all this. You bring up an item and we'll say, I don't know. Next item.
No, we'll say that it's a little dirty for us. It's not clean enough.
Yes, too
clean
dirty.
enough, right?
We're not going to.
Awesome. We've got to launder those dirt sheets, you know what I mean? But anyway, let's see with some other news. Oh, Prof, you did talk about it, didn't you? You think it's possible that Vince could come back?
Never say never. In the world of professional wrestling, just never say never. Again, with the money that's going on, the pending litigation that's always on Vince McMahon, that's the thing. Once the litigation gets cleared up, maybe TKO could do something. But right now, it's not a good public relations look to have him involved in the TKO family, have him involved in any operations, WWE wise. So once the litigation is cleared away, Jimmy,
yeah,
I even say it's more of a 75-25 kind of thing. Right now, it's 50-50 because of pending litigation. But once that's cleared, 75-25, I would not be surprised that he's back in some context.
That's pretty high. I mean, that's a really good chance, according to you, in my opinion.
Again, you got to go with his age. He's 81 years old. So, he can't do this forever unless he's trying to cheat death. So, I'm just being realistic.
His mother actually lasted over 100 years. So you never know. Oh, it's weird. Speaking of, let's stick with WWE. Vet, I don't know if you watched SmackDown or not, but
SmackDown,
I guess
yes.
Oh, you did watch it? Okay, cool. Now you know that Sami Zayn is your Saturday night's main event I was talking about.
No, didn't watch that.
Oh, you don't care if I spoil it, right?
No.
Okay, cool. Well, Sami Zayn is your new number 1 contender, and that was predictable. But what I'm worried about, are they going to hotshot this WWE Championship for Sami Zayn to become your new Saudi Arabian WWE champion?
I don't know. Are they? Is that a match on the show?
It is. He's the number 1 contender now against Drew McIntyre at the Rumble in Saudi Arabia. He's Arabic himself. He's from Syria. Well, his background is Syrian. He's cool with the Saudis. The Saudis are cool with him. I've got a bad feeling, dude. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope I'm so wrong. But surely they're not going to do that to Drew. I just hope they don't. But damn it, I just got a bad feeling.
Yeah, well, of course, as always, the correct answer is
what,
Jimmy?
You never know. It's possible.
No, who cares? That's the correct answer.
Okay.
Yes, as always, the correct answer is who cares. However, in the spirit of playing along and doing a show and all this other stuff, I still have to say kind of who cares. Because it's like, okay, if you do you really want Drew McIntyre as your champion for the long term? If you do, then what's your plan? If Sami Zayn wins, what's your plan? If Sami Zayn wins, what's your plan for WrestleMania? I guess that depends. Are you going to have I assume he's a babyface. We all like Sami Zayn. Is a heel going to win the Royal Rumble? How are you going to feel about a heel winning the Royal Rumble? Or is a babyface going to win the Royal Rumble? Are we going to have a babyface match with Sami Zayn if he wins? What we have here is a few possibilities. But I think what you've seen from the WWE is even with the Drew McIntyre, it's like they didn't plan that far ahead, supposedly, right?
Seems like it.
It seems like they pulled the trigger at the last minute because they need a shakeup.
Right.
And, you could believe that rumor or not. But I mean, if you can watch this stuff play out, and the stuff that you are able to see with shows like Unreal Season 2 airing now on Netflix, you can see how clueless they all are in there. Like, they're exposing how clueless and dumb they are and how bad they are at this. And that's just what they allow you to see. Imagine the stuff they edited out of, all those hours and hours of footage just to make them look regular dumb. They could have been looking really dumb before the cutting room floor happened. So I'm just saying, I don't think they know what they're doing or they have a plan. And so to answer your question, could they hotshot this? Yes, the hell they could, and they might. But I don't think it's a foregone conclusion just because, of Sami Zayn. They could still have him. They could still just beat him. I mean, it's not like he's guaranteed to win.
I could just picture all of the Saudi Arabia going wild though for Sami Zayn. He'd be like, "Thank you, Habibi. I did it for you," and blah blah blah, and yalla and everything going on down there. They're going to be going, guns are going to be going off. It's going to be an absolute party.
At the end of the day, he's still just a Canadian.
Yeah, well. But before I take it to you, Prof, I mean, also what I think is going to happen though, I think they'll hotshot Sammy. It could be a Kane, if he does win, I think it could be a Kane run. Wouldn't that be funny? Remember when Kane won at King of the Ring 98 and lost the belt the next night on Raw to Steve Austin, if I remember? Could it be something like that where Drew gets it right back on Raw or something like that? Or that'll be on SmackDown, whatever the case. Is that a possibility? And I'll take it to you, Prof.
Anything's a possibility, and I'll play along, Jimmy. I won't say who cares. I won't be that kind of guy right there, but it's okay. But
right, you're thinking it. You don't have to say it.
I do think that I do think it, but I just don't let it. I just don't let it influence me right now. But
hey, I played along.
You played it very well. But I'll say this, Jimmy. I look at it this way. They wanted to create this unpredictability when Drew won the title at SmackDown, right? So that's the thing. Endless possibilities where you can go with this with Drew McIntyre going into WrestleMania. I don't think he's going to lose it at Royal Rumble because I think certain things happened in Saturday night's main event that gave a prettier picture, Jimmy, if you know what I'm saying. They already they already kind of inclined where they want to go with that with Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu. So once you implement the Royal Rumble, then now you got other elements in there. You got Roman Reigns in there, you got Cody in there, you got Jacob in there, you're gonna have Randy in there. So again, what WWE and what Triple H, even though this is what you didn't see on Unreal, guys, this is the good parts of their booking to a degree. I'm not saying that they're smart about this, but this is what they want to create. Endless, like you could actually picture maybe 5 or 6 potential winners. We know that they're gonna, put it down to maybe 2 or 3. But again, you can see Cody winning it. Maybe you can see Jacob winning it. Maybe you can see a fucking 1994 tie between Cody and Jacob. Maybe you can see Gunther win it. You can see Roman Reigns coming out of nowhere. Again, that's what they wanted to create. I think one thing, if we want to compare yesteryear with the Vince McMahon years, is people complained when it was so predictable that the main event played itself out on TV, right, guys? So now we are looking at it this way, and those same complainers are finding a new complaint. Wait, where are you going with this? What are we doing here? I mean, pick your poison, pick a lane. If you're going to complain if it's too predictable, and now you're going to complain, where are we going with this, guys? I need to be invested. I need to sell it. Jimmy, you started by saying they didn't promote the Royal Rumble. This doesn't feel like it's the Royal Rumble.
It doesn't.
You know what? But you know why? Because the Royal Rumble sells itself. You got 2 battle royals, and the winner gets a title shot. What else do you need? And I'm not being mad at you, Jimmy. I'm just trying to tell you, what else do you need to sell it?
But we've only got 8 men so far announced for the Royal Rumble, and we're only a week away.
How many do we ever have?
Do you need to know? Wait, Jimmy. Do you need to know the full 30?
I don't personally care. Personally, me, no, I don't give a shit.
But again, that's the beauty of it. You already know maybe 8 to 10 guys, maybe some NXT guys. We're all waiting for Obafemi, right? What a way to make an appearance, right? You got that. Maybe you got a TNA guy coming in. Maybe you got Moose or Leon Slater to be a surprise, quote unquote. We don't know. You got AAA guys. Mr. Iguana could be in there. I'm just giving you examples.
Oh God, it's probably going to be the worst Rumble in history now.
That's your taste, but I'm just giving you. You said, do you need to know 30, or do you want unpredictability? I just gave you examples.
I prefer unpredictability. Absolutely.
That's right, Professor. I mean, speaking on that topic, like, why would you want to know who's in the Royal Rumble?
Mhm.
Like, you are ruining the pop of every single 10 count on that night if you already know somebody's coming out. It's like, if you don't know anybody that's coming out, then everybody's extra, well, or depending on like some of the other the TNA surprises, you can have people extra disappointed, when that 10 count goes down. But yeah, it would be, it's a strange complaint, I think, that people would have of like, I've been hearing people say that, like, they keep making the jokes like only one person is declared for the Royal Rumble. Like, so shouldn't you just assume everybody's going to be in it and then just be more surprised at who's not at the end of the night? Then, like, when has anybody ever bought a pay-per-view based on like, well, I need at least 5 of my favorite wrestlers to be in the Rumble or I ain't buying it. It's exactly what the professor is saying. People will find new things to complain about. That's just the nature of being given whatever you want. Especially if you feel like you've rattled Triple H with his booking by saying all this bullshit, and then he says, I wish fans would just be fans of shit like that. You pushed him into that corner of like being a hypocrite of saying like, I wish fans would be fans as you're the star of Unreal. It's like this whole thing has gotten so far out of hand, that now we're even looking at, we just have to find something to bitch about, that we have to say like, well, I don't know enough people that's going to be in the Rumble to be interested. And funny enough, Professor, Jimmy's catchphrase on the Wreckage has always been, where are we going with this? I've been trying to beat it out of him, and he's gotten pretty good at it lately. But, in the early days, that was his favorite catchphrase.
Nothing, again, Jimmy, nothing wrong with that. I understand what you're saying. All I'm just saying, it's the Rumble. It sells itself. The match, it sells itself. Everything you're saying is for WrestleMania. Everything you're saying is maybe for Elimination Chamber. I understand that. I want to know where we're going with the Elimination Chamber next month. I want to know where we're going into WrestleMania.
Because they're match related. That's right. Very different.
Match related, story related. But this is the Rumble, baby. This is Pat Patterson, baby. This is what he wanted. He wanted a sausage fest. He wanted 30 guys in there.
It's a little sus, bro.
This is his wet dream. He let it. His dream is coming true. You know this. And again, like I said,
come true, right?
To a degree. But again, the worst thing, and you talked about like, do we need to know anybody? I hated the 90s because you remember those commercials where Vince McMahon read off who's the 30 competitors?
Right.
Where was the surprise? You already knew the 30 people in there when he said it. I didn't like that. That's just me.
I agree. Don't get me wrong.
Take. Right.
That's not my take. I'm just going by what it is. You know what I mean? There's only 8. Usually they don't
seems a little dirty by the. It seems a little dirty with the IWC. We need to clean it up right now. That's all.
But they are. The IWC is upset about it. And like I said, I didn't know. That's the beauty of the Royal Rumble, because you might get a real surprise, and it's always a great thing when you do. But I'm glad you guys were the total opposite, because every show I've done previously, like the Smack Attack, which I did with RBV, and John Paz from the 2-Man Power Trip, which was a great show. Go check that out if you guys haven't already. Yeah, absolutely. And they felt that way. They felt we've only got 8, like, guys announced, and it's weird. And they wanted, like, remember the old school vignettes they used to do promoting the Royal Rumble, where you might see Hogan or whatever, and he'd be like, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble, brother, and I'm going to take out all out of the 30 men and blah, blah, blah. We don't get that shit anymore at all, which I kind of liked back then. Or even that little bubble that you would get before, when before an entrant, sometimes you see that little bubble, they're talking backstage before they're going to come in, and they're like, I'm going to, win and say whatever. They just drop a little promo and then they come to the ring. Even little things like that would be great to implement again, but I don't know. Maybe I'm asking for too much.
Wait. You wanted a story, Jimmy? There is a story. Cody lost to Drew. Drew said you can't get a rematch. What does Cody got to do? He's got to enter the Royal Rumble. Story number 1.
Right. There's your story, right. And he's number 1 2, as well, isn't he? Right.
I don't know if he's going to be entered number 1.
He said he elected to be number 1.
Story number 2. Jacob Fatu hasn't found out who attacked him. So he's
true.
It's down to 2 people. It's either Cody or Drew that attacked him. So he's got to take revenge. Well, Cody's in the Rumble. So what I got to do? Jacob's in the Rumble. If I can't get to Drew, Cody can't get to Drew. Now you got a power dynamic. That's 2 stories right there.
Actually, that reminds me.
Go ahead.
Right, go for it. Continue. No, continue. You've got story number 3.
Gunther. He wants his world title back. He wants to be the top of the guy back. First, he's got to retire AJ Styles. And I don't know if you had that news about that shit, but I'll leave that to you, Jimmy. But he's got to retire AJ first. And now he's got to win the Rumble so he can face Punk. Everything. And the story number 4 is, I think this is the way it's going to go. I'm not saying this is right. This sounds clean, Bet, but I'm just saying this is just, it's a little dirty, but I think it's clean enough to say Drew is going to main event night 1. And I think for Triple H to appease the Mark Tars, there is some certain things, Bet, that he's trying to appease the Mark Tars. He wants to get Punk to main event night 2 to vindicate that, he never main evented WrestleMania legitimately. He's got a main event night 2. That's the only story.
In a singles match.
Yeah.
Because he did main event in a triple threat match.
Mm-hmm.
So now he needs to do it in a singles match.
Does that sound a little dirty, Bet? I'm just saying.
No.
I'm trying to clean it up a little bit, but that's the way I feel, the way
Triple H. A little dusty, maybe. Just a little bit dusty. Not dirty, but dusty.
Well, you're not presenting this as news. You're presenting this as possible forks in the road, because what you're saying here, what you're laying out here, is that we actually do have much more unpredictability than it seems like. If you just want to get stuck in the echo chamber and keep repeating everybody else's complaints, okay, you can do that. But if you actually are just looking at it objectively or just watching the shows, then you got some stuff to be intrigued about if you want to.
Uh-huh.
Well, like T.N. Cooper says, great job on cleaning it up, Professor.
I try.
He tries. It's the clean sheets right here on the wreckage. Anyway, we'll see what happens. But I'm glad you guys were against everyone else. Everyone else was complaining about what I was just
Jimmy. There is a lot. And I mean, you guys sit here with me once a week, and I do this other times a week. There's a lot to complain about in the wrestling business.
Oh, no.
Some of the shit that these people are complaining about is like, you are not even on the radar yet. Like, we have got a lot more to address before we start bitching about how much the Royal Rumble gets promoted. Like, for real.
Right. No, you're right. That's true. Absolutely. We'll be here for 10 hours if we'll talk about that. But speaking of travesties, and I don't know why AEW continuously doesn't learn their lesson over here, but Grand Slam Australia seems to be an absolute debacle. Not only at the house show in Brisbane that they're also doing, where they're charging $300 for nosebleeds, which is crazy. But it seems Grand Slam Australia is having problems. So according to Meltzer, he reported that several people who live in the Sydney area stated that there has been no advertising of late for AEW's upcoming show, which is only coming up in like under a month. Meltzer also reported that the one main reason for the lack of advertising is due to AEW had lost their regular television deal with ESPN in Australia 3 weeks ago. That's crazy because it pissed me off that happened, but I'll explain in a moment. ESPN is now currently packaged through Disney Plus instead of being its own separate cable television channel in Australia. Meltzer also reported that those spoken to stated that people who went to last year's Grand Slam Australia show did not even know that there was a new show coming soon there. Prof, I'll go with you first. Why doesn't AEW have a marketing team?
Can you well, you're the guy in Australia, Jimmy. Can
we shouldn't be. You shouldn't be going to anybody first.
Yeah, this is you.
First of all, I've known that there's been shows. I'm in Melbourne. I'm not in Sydney or Brisbane for that matter. And I knew that there was shows because they did come down here to promote the show. Like certain wrestlers, like Darby was here, Tony Storm was here. As a matter of fact, I just read an article of MJF talking about the Australian show and what to expect from him coming down. So that's weird. I'm in Melbourne getting all this, but apparently in the city that the shows are in, apparently there's no advertising. So I don't know what's going on there, but
according to Meltzer. And they did lose the ESPN deal here because it's fucked me up the last few weeks, man. I'm going through my cable channels and I'm looking for freaking Dynamite and Collision. And for whatever reason now, suddenly it's just disappeared. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? So now I've had to sign up to Fight TV again to watch it that way live, unless I watch it illegally. And I had problems doing that also, which is why I went with Fight. And AEW here just does not have a proper presence anymore. Or not anymore, just ever. Like they just do not market. They want to come down here regularly. They want to like get big crowds and whatnot. But how are you supposed to expect that when you just do
absolute no advertising. Like, they're not paying for anything. Not on the radio, not on television. Like, what do you expect? Do you know what I mean, guys? Like, seriously, what do you expect to happen?
No, it's good that you gave that clear session what's going on in your neck of the woods, Jimmy, because again, I don't understand it, because again, you said ESPN Australia, so I guess because of the WWE affiliation, I'm assuming that's why
exactly what I think has happened.
I assume that's why.
It's not coincidence.
I'll say that. That's the assumption I got why they didn't renew with ESPN.
And it happened around the same time too, by the way, Prof.
But it just shows the sickos being sickos to a degree, because I'll explain it this way, because sicko mentality is, I'm only going to pay for the pay-per-views. I don't care about Dynamites. I don't care about collisions. The attendance just speaks for itself. I don't understand this. They don't want to go to the Dynamites and collisions because you see the attendance is like 2,000 or 3,000 in a 20,000 arena, guys. And supposedly it's supposed to go smaller. So I get, Jimmy, can you correct me with the Australia one? Is that arena what? 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 seater?
The one for the house show in Brisbane is only like about 10,000. The one in Sydney, though, at the Sydney Superdome holds 25,000. So it's a pretty big arena.
So probably they got 3,000 for each so far, right? Confirmed.
Nothing's been. You know what? It's hard to find numbers, dude, about this right now. I've got a bad feeling. I mean, people will probably walk in. Australians are kind of like that. I love doing things last second. So I can expect that. And I even plan on going too. I'm not even worried about it getting sold out. No shit. Like, I'm not. Because I know like I'll be able to get a ticket.
But that's the sicko mentality, Jimmy, because they will get there on the day of, but AEW doesn't do what you just talked about. They don't promote. Right. They don't have a street team. They don't have a branding team. They don't have a marketing team. The wrestlers have got to do it all by them fucking selves. Tony Khan has got to do his due diligence to book his wrestlers, to book your top wrestlers like MJF on the Australian morning show, to book Tony Storm, the Austin girl, on Australian morning shows to promote the shit properly and all that stuff. So that's what he doesn't do. He does these little rinky-dink morning shows. Tony Khan does those podcasts and he thinks he's promoting the brand. He's promoting the brand to Mark Tard's podcast. That's not the same thing as going casual and trying to go mainstream. That's what WWE still does. They still go to mainstream, but they still will do the interviews with the wrestling journalists to a degree. But you got to brand yourself better. That's what they don't do. But the sickos only want to go to pay-per-views. That's it. The numbers speak for itself.
Vet, anything to say about this?
Yeah, well, that's number one, you can't, like Professor said, you can't have Tony Khan doing your promotion for you. Because if you are on one of those podcasts that he's on that no one's ever heard of, I'm sure one thing you have heard of is AEW and you don't need him to tell you about it. Whereas if you go somewhere where people haven't heard about AEW and you got this guy trying to sell it to you, he comes across as so disingenuous and like so PR that you're probably going to tune him out. You know, the way he says everything's great 100 times and he just never answers a question straight up and, you know, takes forever to get there. He's just not a social person. So he doesn't know how to talk to people. And, you know, so that's why it would be better to have, like you said, the wrestlers to promote for him for things like that. But it's more than just like what you say on an interview. It's just the fact that you just don't see it places. You know, that's the biggest thing about AEW. When you go out in the world, you don't see it. You see WWE here and there, you know, they got little promotions with like, you know, you could see like some Minute Maid juice with Cody on it or some shit like that in the grocery store. They're
everywhere. When they're in town, even here, they're all over the
but they're everywhere. But they're everywhere all the time because there's always getting those deals done. You know, and there you could see a wrestler somewhere and people see that WWE logo and they're like, I know that. Even if they don't watch it, they know that. They're like, I know that. Sure. So, you know, now as far as Australia goes, I mean, if you got a problem with that, you know, what that area of Australia, then Melbourne needs to pony up.
Dude, we're the wrestling capital of Australia. No shit.
Pony up. You're getting outbid is what's going on. if you think you can outdraw Perth or whatever, then
Perth, man.
Then you need to pony up. But apparently, your section of the country doesn't feel like it's that big of a priority. So they're not trying to. They're not, and they're certain. And if they are, they're not even bidding for the WWE. You think they're gonna pony up for AEW?
Well, yeah, you're right. I agree. I think they would look down on AEW if anything.
Probably,
in my opinion.
So,
but yeah, and Perth never outdrawed us, by the way, because the PLE in 2018, the Super Showdown event, drew over 75,000, whereas in Perth it was like in the 60s, the highest.
Well,
but Perth paid. That's the thing. Perth
paid the moolah, man. They paid a lot of money. That's true. Yeah. And I think they continue. They've got a good relationship now with WWE too, which is even worse. But
also, just one final thing though, just to say, to the professor's point about how, the mentality of the fans, it's not just that, because really the idea of the tribalism and stuff is kind of a myth. People are going to go online and talk shit where they want to talk shit, but at the end of the day, people are going to go see wrestling because they like wrestling. So what ends up happening is, with the WWE and their astronomical prices, but much better show, if you only got one choice that you're going to go see a wrestling show when they come to your town, are you going to go see the Collision, that you saw last time and were very disappointed in? Or are you going to just save up next time to go to the nice WWE show where everybody's eating and having a good time? Don't you want to be part of that party? Obviously, we're looking at these things like they can't all be sickos, So even the sickos are like, hey, I want to go to a WWE show once in a while, The hell with Dynamite. I saw it 6 months ago. I don't need to see it again. And that's the thing that you're finding is, like, as the circle is like, the circle's closing in. It's like the battle royale in Fortnite or whatever. The circle's closing, man. Pretty soon Tony's just going to be running Chicago every single night for the rest of his life until he kills that town.
Kind of did, but he killed.
Kind of already did, right?
Absolutely. I just want to answer Jeff Libben. He's in the house saying, came from Professor, stayed for the vet. I don't understand Kiwi. Don't you dare call me a Kiwi, Jeff. He's calling me a New Zealander, by the way.
Oh,
that's why. And
that's the worst thing you could say to an Australian.
Absolutely, it is. And he also says, don't pony up, Tony up, and stop killing Jews, Melbourne. How did you know? Hey, we're not. There's a city that's doing that.
Don't touch it.
Nah.
Don't touch that. Move on.
Anyway, Jeff Lee, he's all right.
That's a little. That's more than dusty, Jimmy. That's more than dusty.
That's very dirty. That's true. Jesus, Jeff. Anywho, speaking of powerhouses, what about gee, this is funny. Powerhouse Royce Keys, vet. How do you feel about that name, Royce Keys?
That's the worst shit I've ever heard.
He's got the key to WWE, bro. It rhymes.
No.
Come on, man. Royce Keys. You don't like Royce Keys?
It's horrible.
Jimmy, you know why he chose that name?
Because of his son, actually.
There you go.
Yeah, I did know. There you go. Yeah, exactly. Who the fuck names a kid Royce anyway? Nah. Royce is actually a good name. I like that. The Keys part, though.
Wait. I'm just going to say this. Jimmy, I know Vet's laughing because of it, but now that Vet knows the circumstances, I think Vet can appreciate that Powerhouse wants to, do that for his son. Just like Kevin Owens. Remember, why did Kevin Owens choose Kevin Owens? Because of his son. Why did Blake Monroe choose her name? Because of her niece or something like that. So when you hear the family reasons, that's a funny thing. If Powerhouse took less money, but they told him, pick your own name. And he said, Royce Keys, you got it. I don't have to pay you anything. You got it. You want the name? You can have the name. I don't have to give you any money. But again, when it comes to the family dynamic, we can laugh a little bit. We can chuckle. But I understand his methodology. So I'll let it roll with it. The Book of Royce, Rolls Royce. We got pimps and he can be a pimp. When you got the name Royce, that you can see possibilities. And
like Royce the 5'9".
And don't forget that when he joins the New Day, just like Jimmy said, he's gonna be Big R. Big Royce.
Big Royce. Oh,
Doesn't quite have the same ring as Big H, I think.
I know. Can you imagine to have a big H on his trunks and shit?
Yeah, single H. What's your name, fella? Single H. Yeah, no, that's great. But here's the thing. No, to quote Brock Lesnar, nobody gives a shit about your kids. Okay?
Yeah.
You don't name yourself after your kids. You name your kids after you, first of all. So you got that backwards. You don't even know how to be a parent. Second of all, what's wrong with Will Hobbs? That sounds like a good name. And it rubs the fact in that you took this guy away. Like, hey, look who we got. It's Will Hobbs, that guy you might have heard of.
Royce Keys.
You'll never get me to agree with the mentalities here. It's just.
How about Big Willie Hobby?
Do that.
WWE name.
I think Will Hobbs is fine because that's the thing. AEW doesn't own anything. Tony Khan in his attempt to be a friendly employer gives people their rights to their own likenesses and stuff like that. He's not trying to lock them down as an identity, which means that people can go. Like maybe Hologram can't go, but anybody else, that's using their name or whatever, they can go and be that person. And in some cases they will. And even in the past they have, CM Punk has been CM Punk. Samoa Joe's been Samoa Joe. Like there's been times where wrestlers have put their foot down and said, no, I'm going to be called this.
Because I know their worth. That's why,
Yeah. But even if you don't know your worth, there's still people that have gotten to use certain names. It's just, you cannot continue to do the old way of doing things. We don't need to do that anymore. And let's be honest, the WWE doesn't care to own it either.
Bet you just got me excited for Hologram to, run his contract off and to go to WWE as Hologram. So I could just laugh at the fact that Hologram's in WWE because Triple H will be that petty enough to bring him in. Just for the fact of it.
I'd be all about it. But that's the problem. They're not being petty enough, like they need to be more petty, So I just, that's just how I feel about it. But yeah, what was it? Royce Keys just sounds, it's very Marcus Corvon to me.
Marcus Corvon. Oh, don't say that was the biggest travesty in the history of wrestling at the time for me. Because I was a big fan of the Pounce in what's it called?
Period.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. But why they call him Marcus Corvon though, man?
IP trademark.
And what about even Lance Archer coming in too? What was he? Friggin' I forgot the name, but he came around the same time.
Yeah,
Vance Archer, wasn't it? Was it that?
Yes, I think so. Something like that.
With a V. Why can't they call him Bob Hobbs even?
Bob Hobbs.
That's got money written all over
it. Bill Hobbs.
Bill Hobbs, I love it. Anyway,
they could have called him Big Bill. How about that?
Hey, Big Bill Hobbs, right? Exactly. Anyway,
Bullet Bill? No, that Nintendo owns that.
Bob Armstrong.
Barbaric.
There are a couple of other news, but like I said, man, nothing too serious, and I don't want us to be here all day because we do have a lot of sifting to do. Because like last week, we went over an hour with the news. This week seems pretty busy, but that was all the main stuff. I'm sure others will also touch on other shit. Anyway, Gru's saying Calvin Hobbs is the best name.
Ooh.
The Book of Keys, like Jeff Lehman says. I like that. The Book of Keys. Does he still even have a book these days, guys? No more?
No, remember they stole it out the car in Oakland.
That's true. They did.
Well, there's a positive, guys, because if Vince McMahon was still we'll see if he's still in control of creative. But Royce Keys, I could see a janitor with a lot of keys.
Oh my God!
Down the aisle, making sure he's cleaning up that ring.
It's the janitor
and cleaning up the competition. If this was 1995, he'd be a janitor with keys. That don't close your eyes on that. You know it's
He knows.
That's exactly why I'm closing my eyes, because I know you're right.
Oh, that would be golden.
Oh,
But
no.
anyway, but not really. But Vet, I think it's time I hand the keys, pun intended, to you.
Okay. Oh man, I did a half-ass job this week. Let's see how we let's see how we come through with this. All right, it's Dynamite. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. Taz is back.
Oh, he is.
Here he is. The good old Taz. Not for nothing. Tony Schiavone brings out MJF, and he does MJF promo, and then Brody King comes out. Ugh. He does a Brody King promo. And then after this duel of promos, MJF just leaves.
Yeah. I mean, I would too. What would you take freaking big man serious?
I don't know. That's how my notes for that segment went. Obviously, it went a lot longer than I made it go. So if you guys want to fill in any other blanks or touch on any other topics of that hot opener with Brody King, go ahead, Professor.
Let me just say this, Vet, and let me ask you this. With this segment, let me ask you a question here, because again, just like Jimmy said minutes ago, he wants to know where things go, right? He wants to know where everything is going to go. And
I used to want to know.
And I told him to stop that. I told him to stop
that. I know he wants to say something. Where's this going, guys? Where is this? I don't get it. But again,
really, when it comes to AEW, where the fuck is it going? Really?
You have every right to actually say this, because the reason I'm saying this to Vet, because again, they don't have really no pay-per-views until March, and that's Revolution. So the whole story, the whole story here is MJF. They're doing the old NWA thing because he's the heavyweight champion and everybody is targeting him. So if we name the people that is targeting him right now, we have Kenny Omega, Swerve, Hang Person, and now for maybe the short term, Brody King.
And Joe,
right.
And we had Bandito last week. So I've already named the people right there. So
target. I see what you did there.
Yeah, they targeted him. So Vet, I guess the thing I would say is, while this segment, we know that in the short term and maybe predictability for maybe Dynamite purposes, Brody will get his shot. Mm-hmm. Is it feasible? Because again, you kind of try to sell this pay-per-view in March coming up in Revolution. So what's the best way with all these people targeting MJF to make it as in television as possible? Are we going to do fatal four-ways? And the reason I say this is because remember in like 2021 or 2022 when MJF, either he was fighting Cody, he might have been doing it with both Cody Rhodes and Chris Jericho. He had like weeks of Dynamite, guys, where he did these stages. He had stages of matches, you had to earn the shit. But at least MJF made it engaging enough to have it on TV. Like, well, if it's going to be Brody King, he's got to go 3 stages. Well, I don't want to use 3 stages of hell, but 3 weeks of hell of matches, and maybe like MJF is going to pay off people. So, Vet, my question to you is, we got targeters, but we just don't have that story, I guess, to a degree. There is a story, but there's
that's a question. It sounds like a statement. It sounds like you just pointed out a statement.
It's a little bit of both.
Yeah. Well, look. Yeah. What I'm hearing you say is Brody isn't enough for a pay-per-view, so we're going to get him for a TV. That's what I'm hearing. And yeah, that's exactly right. You're going to get somewhere in between now and the next pay-per-view. You're going to get Brody King versus MJF as a TV main event. Or an hour 2 main, like an hour 1 main event, maybe even. You won't even have him close the show because nobody's going to stay awake to see a Brody King match. So I could understand how they might do that. And that's also why I would say they've been giving Brody King a strong win week after week, but it's actually not. A strong win would be if they dug up the corpse of somebody that used to be on the show and had him beat them. But no, they've just been bringing, local guys or smaller guys for him to get a squash. So that's not really a strong win, but it is a keep you in the public eye win. So like concurrently as they're doing this thing with Bandito and MJF, they were having Brody on TV getting quick wins on guys so that he's fresh in people's minds. That way you build it up to where you think he has half-ass a chance at MJF. And MJF is the kind of champion where you feel like he's only holding on to it by the skin of his teeth, and anybody could beat him. So it's something that can at least provide a little intrigue, even if we know damn well they're not switching the belt to goddamn Brody King, for fuck's sake. Nobody's ever going to believe that. But, yeah, so I don't know if that was even a question or whether that was even an answer to what could have been a question, but that's all I got. What do you got, Jimmy? Anything?
Well, unfortunately for me, probably. What's the bet they're building up to Grand Slam Australia for that being the main event? Oh, man. I'll walk out of there straight up.
No.
They
wouldn't do that to you. They wouldn't do that to you. They wouldn't do that to you.
No, Tony, don't, please.
No, you won't. But here's some people that could be in a main event. It's Renee, right? But she's with the new tag team of Hank Person and Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey. But they're trying to come up with new names, such as, well, Kevin suggested Jet Set Rodeo, which is not that bad. But
a game?
For almost.
But radio.
Yeah, but apparently for some reason someone thought it would be a good idea for Speedball's idea to be Horsecock.
Oh my God. You know what they are?
Stupid idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know how that's supposed to be a joke.
Dude,
I don't get it.
Show, and I overheard that, right, as I was watching it. And I'm like, did he just say what I thought he said, right? And that was it? Like, get out of here, man. These guys are weird, straight up. All of them. All three of them are weirdos.
He could get away with it because he's non-binary. That's why it didn't matter.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Well, comedy is non-binary also. So you should just be funny. Whatever you are, be funny if you're going to make a joke. But anyways, it's fine. So then after everybody gets done, embarrassing themselves or whatever with this, then Kevin Knight kind of holds Adam Page back for a second and is like, hey, I know you have some experience with Swerve. Yeah, you think? He's like, you got any advice for me tonight? Because they got a match later. And I kid you not, out of everything that this guy, and remember, this is Hank Person, Adam Page, okay? The blood drinking, all the stuff, the burning house, the baby's crib, the everything. And he knows, you think he's got some experience with Swerve. Yeah, you think? And then all these people talking about what a great promo this guy is. Oh, so when the kid asks him for advice in a moment that you could look at as like a realistic moment on television for a change, with a guy asking another guy for advice, like, what do I do against this psychopath? And what's Adam Page say? He says, and I quote, it's going to be a hell of a main event. That's your advice? Go get fucked by a horsecock. What is that? Who writes this shit? It's going to be a hell of a main event. If I was Kevin Knight, I would have been like, I'm sure it is, but I asked you a question, sir. Like, what? Yeah.
Well, let me just say this. I'm not going to defend Tony Khan and his great collaboration that he had with Hank Person Page on this. I'm gonna glaze this, and someone will know that joke. I'm gonna glaze this.
Clean it up, please.
Horsecock.
Yeah, I'm gonna glaze this horsecock bullshit right now. What? We got to remember, Vet, that the dynamic between Hank Person and Swerve, bitter enemies, better friends, and bullshit like that. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, and whatever deal that they have, whatever agreement that they have, will never interfere with the overall goal of becoming AEW champion. So he can't give advice to Kevin Knight. He can't give advice to Speedball, the non-binary champion. He can't do it. He's got to stay neutral when it comes to Swerve. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's a great reason. It's just the only reason that I could come up with.
I think Kevin Knight is binary. I don't know how I could. But yeah, there's still, if you don't want to give him advice, you could come up with a better line, like
maybe he was drunk.
Like, there's nothing I can say that can get you ready for this man. You could say something like that. It's just anything, but it's going to be a hell of a main event.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway. Speaking of non-binary, Samoa Joe versus Speedball Mike Bailey. Hook and Shibata come down. They interfere multiple times in the match. Samoa Joe hits a muscle buster directly as a result of interference. And MJF is watching this match very intently. However, apparently Paige and Kevin weren't watching it very intently because they just watched their buddy get fucked with for 20 minutes and did nothing.
This is weird. How do you allow the ops to beat up a non-binary guy like this? And you don't got your trios champions by your side. Well, you know what? While you're laughing, I can understand this now. While he said it was going to be, it's going to be a hell of a main event. Guess what Hank Person was doing? He was giving Kevin Knight behind the scenes advice on what to do with Swerve, but you couldn't see it on camera. He was giving him all that advice. He was giving him all that advice.
Interesting. Well,
With
we'll
all
find out if that advice pays off later on tonight.
I'm just saying, he gave him all that advice, and that advice cost Speedball Mike Bailey the match. Oh, you didn't say what happened with the match, but
no, I did. I said muscle buster, buster, and it's over.
Choosing interferences and shit. Yeah.
Here's the problem. Well, you can look at it positively and negatively. I don't know, but it took 3 guys to beat Speedball. That visual looks weird to me. I don't mind Speedball coming up short against Samoa Joe because Samoa Joe's a former champion. He's an icon. He's a legend and all that stuff. But it took 3 people for Speedball. That's the optics here. And number 2, on the flip side, Vet, the week before, you just amped up Speedball and Kevin Knight, and you'll talk about Kevin Knight later. But you just brought down Speedball. It kind of looks embarrassing. It kind of makes even the trios champion look like doofuses. They look stupid. They look like they're not even in the league of the ops. That's the way it looks optically.
Yeah, optically. And, AEW's never missed an opportunity for a nice schmaz. So I'm surprised that they just left them backstage, just, holding their horse cocks in their hand. I don't know why. They love schmazes, right? I mean, so
they love it.
Missed opportunity. But yeah,
they're just a bunch of
stupid idiots.
A bunch of idiots, stupid idiots.
Well, we're not done with stupid idiots because we got a trio street fight next.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait a minute. You're not calling someone in particular a stupid idiot, are you?
Well, let me run down this list of names and you decide who's a stupid.
All right.
Check your little box next to each one if you think they're a stupid idiot. We've got Wheeler Yuta.
Stupid idiot.
Oh. We've got Daniel Garcia.
Stupid idiot. Can I double check that one?
Yeah, you could double check it. We're up to 3. We got John Moxley, Fireman Fred himself.
Stupid idiot.
Wow, we're batting 1,000 so far. The opponents. Hechicero, don't you dare.
No, absolutely not.
That's Hechicero, though. That's Hechicero. Come on. Can anybody? What's stupid about this?
Can I put an asterisk at least?
Okay, you can put an asterisk.
No.
Yeah. Undetermined.
Yes.
Rocky Romero, you better put 3 check marks on Rocky Romero. And Vance Archer.
Stupid idiot.
For still being there. Vance Archer. I just realized you said that.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, it's a street fight. So, do whatever you want. Marina Shafir joins in. I don't know if she's a stupid idiot.
No.
She joined in. Pac and Claudio join in the fun. Eventually, Rocky Romero, rightfully, he's the guy to lose. He should be. He should be here to lose. Gets a scorpion stomped, I guess, is what you would call this. It's like that's they had him in the like Daniel Garcia had him in the Scorpion deadlock, and he got stomped. So, yeah, there you go.
Let me just say one thing, Vet. During this match, we saw bad refereeing, guys. You're standard. You know why I checked off Hechicero? Because during this match, on the outside, when I think it was Daniel Garcia he applied either the STF or a sharpshooter right in front of the referee outside. My man Hector was tapping out in front of the ref. The ref was looking like this stoically. And then we had to be reminded by Excalibur that anything happens on the outside. But my man Hector was tapping out very, very quickly in front of the referee. I'm like, you know, why Hector have to do that? He could have just.
I'll tell you why.
He could have just screamed. He didn't have to tap out, man. To Daniel Garcia, come on, guys.
It's actually no, because
but I'm mad at the ref. The ref didn't need to be there.
Well, yeah, the ref's a stupid idiot. If it's a ref in AEW, he's a stupid idiot. That's just the way it is.
Stupid idiot. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you.
But obviously, Hechicero's a genius because he saw what Gunther did, and he's like, "Let me do the fake tap out too, so that he'll let me go." Right, knowing that you can't submit on the outside of the ring, even in a street fight. It's not false count anywhere. It's just a street fight. Finish got to happen in the ring. He knows that. He's a genius. He's a sorcerer. He's gonna try to get the fake tap out, and you know, it didn't work out exactly the way he planned it, but it was a sound idea. You know, we just sometimes you got to go back to the drawing board with some of these ideas.
Yes.
So does this mean the dick riders? Since we got horsecocks, dick riders, all sorts of dicks in this company, are they heels again? What's going on?
Oh wait, there's more, Jimmy. But that goes into the next. That goes into another match.
Well, John Moxley, because Don Callis, of course, is there. You know,
of course,
or somewhere, and John Moxley says, "You tell your boy he knows where to find me." Referring to, I don't know who he just said your boy. He just said your boy. Who's he talking about?
Where's
Takeshita? Fletcher?
Is that what?
Okada?
Is that what he's talking about?
Okada?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Okada was soundly beaten. I don't know why Okada got away with one of the belts. I think he's good with that. I don't think he's coming to have another rotten match with John Moxley anytime soon. So I didn't even consider that, but
he lost the unified title, Vet. He wants it back. He wants to merge the belts back again. I don't know why.
No, he looks very satisfied. I don't think he wants it at all. I think he's good with his one belt. I think that's I mean, one belt's just as good as another. I mean, when you think about it, if we had the unified belt, that's one belt. Now he's down to just the Continental belt, which is still just one belt, or not Continental, the International, which is still one belt. So his workload hasn't changed. He's only switched from belt design, so he's good now. Yeah, it's not worth getting in there with Fireman Fred. Trust me. Ooh. So, triangle promo, Jimmy.
Triangle of Madness.
Yeah,
go, Jimmy. Go, Jimmy. On cue.
Yeah, he's on the spot.
Thank you.
And the Toxic Spider wants Chris Statlander. Want that title and
your boys sort of
probably and Dark Julia. She wants a shot at Willow Nightingale.
Julia.
Yeah. So we'll see that. We'll see if those matches get officially made.
Wow.
Okay. Next is here comes Alec Price and Jordan Oliver. Who you may remember as being signed by MJF last week or something.
That's
I guess
right.
MJF signed these guys. And here they are. And don't forget, everybody, to visit helpbigstoke.com. Okay. He's a little bit he's not the best right now, so he needs all your help. So go there and donate and help him out. And please welcome FTR to the ring.
I'm laughing at what Jeff said. Where's legit Layla? She's gone.
Just look down. Just look down. She's somewhere down there. Yeah. So this is FTR versus the new guys, and that means it's the professors. It's Professor Spotlight.
The people got to know Professor, as J12 said.
Well, we all know, guys, that Vet watches this on 2 speed. So, he doesn't hear the crowd. He doesn't hear, the energy of the crowd. What was it? 3,000 people saying this is all. I heard this is awesome chants for like 5 minutes straight. It was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And then I heard Booker of the Year chants from Tony Khan because he put these
Oh.
4 people together. So it is what it is on
Well,
that.
I can hear that. It's just 2.5 minutes. That's all.
I'm just giving you what you fast forward for. But again,
Yeah.
once the This Is Awesome chance simmered down, and once the Booker of the Year chance simmered down, we got a classic match. Tacticians of Dax the Axe and Cash Cashton doing what they do best against the future of AEW. I don't know how Jordan Oliver and Alec Price became the future of AEW. You know, they let that future of AEW stuff let it out loosely, guys. You know, let it be organic. Don't tell me that they're the future of AEW, because then I'm going to look at them really, you know, I'm going to nitpick, I'm going to overanalyze, and these guys are not the future of AEW, guys. And of course, FTR, you know, does what they do best. And this is just feeders. I ain't calling this a strong win, but this is a decisive win for FTR because they're honing up their skills for the double D's for next week and all that stuff. And plus, there's $1 million in that Stokely Foundation, you know, to help Stokely out. I forget the exact number, but those Somalis really run that Stokely Foundation really good.
See. Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, I'll say this. As far as the future of AEW goes, they're not gonna. What it looks like to me is that they're gonna starve to death before they ever get to the future of AEW. Forget steroids. Can we get these guys some food? Can we get them something to eat? You know?
Oh man,
So,
I mean, they look tiny, man.
Was this like a Make-A-Wish? Like we want, before we die, we want to wrestle the greatest tag team of all time.
And it's funny because I saw Jordan Oliver years ago in MLW. I've seen Jordan Oliver in Game Changer Wrestling, and he was teaming up with, funny enough, with the Rascals, Myron Reed. So you know, I've seen them. I'm not saying I don't know who this guy was, but again, he looks way different. Now he looks like one of those '90s WWE superstars jobbers. But in WWE, he kind of looked like untapped potential and the future of wrestling, but not in this light, not in the AEW light.
Damn.
Yeah, there was something to the MLW version where he was, you know, a little more how do we say urban?
Yeah.
Do we say urban? Would that be the way to go with him and Myron Reed?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, now he's just another guy, but that's fine. We'll see. Again, now that he's got the job and now that he's got the money and now that they have the catering, we'll see if he can pack on a little bit of weight to somewhat look believable. And Alec Price too. Like, my God. So anyways, the Cosmic Babes, or whatever they're going to be called, they answer the challenge. It's a yes all around. They'll fight anybody. What babyface would turn down a challenge anyway? Of course they do. Next up, we have our promised match from last week. Kenny and Josh. Kenny versus Josh. That's a main event anywhere in the world. Put that on the marquee. Anyway. Kenny versus Josh. Jump started. Josh Alexander obviously is going to jump Kenny. And it doesn't last long. Kenny gets over on him pretty quickly, and then the match goes into whatever it is. What I notice about this match, because I don't like Josh Alexander.
Yeah,
I really don't. Like, I don't. It's not, and I'm not talking about like in terms of, you know, like, oh, I don't enjoy his wrestling matches. Right. I'm talking about like, I no longer care for this man as a professional because of what I've seen him do or not do. So I was watching this match and be like, okay, what's he going to do here? And apparently what he wants to not do is catch Kenny on his stupid ass dive. Now I get it. Kenny's old and he shouldn't be doing dives and stuff, like not as much, or certainly not waste one on this match, but Josh didn't fully catch him. So what ended up happening, Kenny smashes his pelvis right there on the floor. At least he didn't hit the concrete part. Cause at this point they had pulled up a section of the mat because they were teasing doing some shit on the concrete. And then that also gave Josh some unsure footing. So if he was to catch Kenny, he was going to have to like stagger back off of the mat onto the concrete, right? So apparently he didn't feel too comfortable with that, so he ended up chickening out. So he only halfway caught Kenny, so Kenny smashed his pelvis into the floor. You know?
Kenny, man. And Josh especially. But Kenny, though, he shouldn't be doing that shit anyway, as you said, Vet.
Well, you got to know this guy's a pussy. Like how you've seen you Canadian boys know each other. You ought to know he's a pussy already. If you ain't gonna if the guy ain't gonna catch you, don't dive on him. It's very simple math. Like there's guys that are gonna catch you. If Kenny jumped on Hechicero, I'm guarantee you Hechicero would have caught him. Or Taurus, or excuse me, a Mortos. You know?
Right. Oh yeah, the beast, Mortos.
Yeah. You have to be able to trust those guys, but like Kenny keeps jumping on guys that they have no intention of catching him, and now he wonders why he has diverticulitis. He's been splitting his intestines open by guys missing him for 20 years.
Well, can I ask quickly, Vet, because I haven't watched him too much in TNA. I've seen a bit of shit of him in TNA. I'm talking about Josh Alexander, but not enough to know. Is he got a habit of not catching people?
It's one thing or another. Like
Okay.
if it's not something like that, it's him like giving somebody a bump or taking a bump that he shouldn't be doing because this is a guy that's had career-threatening neck surgery, so he ought to know better. Why would Kenny take the apron slam? I don't know. I don't have a. That's what I'm saying. Like, why are these guys even talking about this? Like, it's just.
I'm sure he wanted to do William Regal justice. You know, he tweeted this match out, make sure William Regal saw this, so this way he knows we're okay. We can do this stuff. That's all.
You also saw what Kenny wrote to Regal. It was a backhanded sort of. I don't know if many people got it what he said, but I don't think people realized. But anyway, it doesn't matter. That was back then anyway.
No, man, but I mean that's the whole thing. Like you got this guy. You got this guy with his stupid headgear on and shit like that. So obviously the first thing you think of is amateur wrestling if you see a guy like this.
Right.
You know? So why don't you, on this TV match that you know you're about to do a job on, instead of doing anything dangerous, why don't you just have a normal match, let Kenny get his moves in and beat you and whatever. It's just pretty simple. But he doesn't get the assignment. So hopefully, everybody made it out of here with, most of their pelvis intact, because Kenny does hit with the one-winged angel like you knew he would. So the rest of this was just fluff, and cuts a quick promo, goodbye, moi, good night, bang. Anything else to add on this? Either one of you guys?
You pretty much hit the nail on the head, man. I'm just worried about Kenny, man. The more I see him do this crap, the more it makes me shake my head, because I was a big fan of his. And now it's almost like I'm starting to lose a bit of respect for him for continuously having to prove himself. Dude, you're in your not mid-40s yet, but you're getting there. It's okay to change your style a little bit, man. Do some more ring work. Don't need to do any friggin' dives from the middle of the ring and do the Terminator bump, 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 and then dive over the ropes. It doesn't need that anymore. Stick to the V-triggers, your one-winged angels, and you'll be fine.
Well, he's gonna go balls to the wall, Jimmy. Maybe one time,
but
right?
he's at that age
He's
now.
gonna be off. He's
Man.
gonna be off TV for a couple of weeks. He's not gonna be going every week like that. So I guess I'm not even defending it, Jimmy. I'm just saying his mentality is I'll go balls to the wall this one time right now, and then rest my body up, and then when I have to do it again, I will do it again.
Damn Canadians. We love you anyway, Canada. It's all good, but still, you worry me.
So Taz breaks down MJF's win last week, talking about his, strategic
technique by Taz.
Yeah, something like that.
Technique.
Yeah.
It's stupid, bro.
Next we have Megalope versus the Love Bombs. Now, you want to talk about, okay, look, Kenny's one thing, but this was something else. So Megan tried to throw Tony Storm. No. Yes. Wait. Who did she throw at who? Megan overshot Tony throwing at Mina. Okay, Mina's on the floor, and Megan takes Tony and pitches her over the top rope and throws her like past Mina Shirakawa, or both, or vice versa. I don't know. I forget who threw who, or who she threw. What did she throw, Mina, or did she throw Tony? But whoever she threw, she overshot, and the person just hit the concrete.
Propelled Penelope before to the blood.
That was second.
Oh, that was second.
That was after, and she nailed that one.
Oh, okay.
Like, yes, Penelope made contact, but the first one she threw one of them at the other one.
It was Mina that got thrown towards Tony Storm, by the way.
Right. So Mina just went right over the top of Tony and hit the floor. And so that was like, okay. A little dangerous, but
up on Mina right after that.
But that's the thing, like this is what I'm saying. Like, I've done this spot. Okay, literally. There was a guy that I trusted, okay, to give me the overhead, the Ultimate Warrior overhead military press and throw me out the ring. Did he literally throw me out of the ring? No. He carried me over to the thing. He put me out the ring, and I fall out myself, land on my feet, and immediately collapse so it looks like I hit the ground, right? But I know what I'm doing. He did not throw me where I'm not in control. So if Megan is doing a spot where she's throwing one partner on the other one comes up to the ring and Megan throws her down. You don't have to throw her out. It's going to be the same thing for the fans are going to pop the same no matter how you do it. Right. The thing is the visual of you holding somebody over your head. That's the visual. Right. What happens after that is less important. So they've already seen how strong you are. Right.
Right.
You're advocating for more house shows, Vet. Because if you had more house shows, you got more reps, you could do this without no problem.
That's true.
That's right. If they survive the house shows, you can do it nicely on television. It's basically what I'm saying here. But anyway, yeah, so she throws Penelope too, like the professor said, and that one goes a little bit better. So probably because Megan after the first one was like, let me dial it back. Yeah. And then so anyways, the match goes on, yada yada yada. Marina grabs Tony Storm, says suck on these titties on the outside, the ref's not seeing it, and it's doomsday for Mina. And guess what? They actually hit her with the clothesline, so that's another plus.
Dude, I'm surprised by this, to be honest. I am surprised. Have they been eating shit lately? It feels like Mina and Tony Storm.
Kind of. Well, they definitely don't feel as important, right?
No, something's up, man. I don't know what it is, but like they've been eating shit lately, and I don't know why.
Maybe Tony Storm after like last year, guys, being the AEW champion, being in the main event picture. And I think one of my critiques back then, even on the Wreckage as a guest, I said that, Tony and Mercedes overshadowed the women's division. So now what is Tony Storm doing? She's giving back. She's trying to let these, Megan and Penelope shine here. Marina Shafir. See, Jimmy, I wanted to remind you about Marina Shafir because you asked the question about the Dick Riders being baby faces. Well, now what Marina did was heelish.
That's what I'm saying. Are they going back to heels now? Right.
This is what gets me about the sickos, guys. It's like, they go along with this like it's no big deal. Well, for the Death Riders against the Don Callis family, I will cheer for the Death Riders. Well, for Marina Shafir against Tony Storm, I will boo Marina Shafir. I'm a sheep. I'll do whatever Tony wants me to do. But I'll just say this, I don't want to use the consistency argument, Vet, but again, the consistency is, are they tweeners or are they going to be full-fledged baby or full-fledged heels, depending on the moment? I'm not saying that this hasn't been done before, but again, like Jimmy always says,
shades of gray now.
But just like Jimmy says eloquently, even though Vet doesn't want to hear it from, where are we going with this? Where are we going with the Dick Riders? This is legitimate stuff, Vet.
We don't need these tired old tropes like baby faces and heels, Professor. You're smart enough. We don't want to insult your intelligence as a fan. We want you to be able to differentiate in the moment how you feel about each individual action. Is that bullshit enough for you?
Yes, it is. Very.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know. Personally, I actually do believe that in a way, only in a way, the idea of babyface and heels is antiquated. However, only in a way. You still need to do it, right? But it's just in how you present it. Everybody always has to be who they are, and they have to be there forever. We can't have these turns. Like, we have too many turns, right? And they're all phony, and they're all like just, again, in the unreal world where we see the creative room, we cannot be invested in these type of things anymore. You know, clotheslining your tag team partner is just not, that's just not a viable turn anymore. So we need to spend years establishing who people even are before we can get to this, right? But what they used to do that I think is outdated is they used to just have heels be all friends with all the heels. When in real life, a heel wouldn't be friends with anybody or have any friends. Right. So even the heels wouldn't get along with each other, right? So it's just little things like that. How do you be a baby face, right? Like I always say, how do you be a baby face in 2026? You guys know the answer.
A cool heel.
Yeah, it'd be a cool heel. But you need to re-examine the art of being not necessarily just the corny white meat baby face, but you still have to be somebody that people can stand up and look up to in a way that doesn't seem like they're being preached at. You know, you haven't figured that out, but because you need people to understand what characters you are. You know, they try to like you even see like they still don't quite get it. So let's take Obafemi, for example. So Obafemi comes out in NXT. He beats everybody up and he's cool, but he's a heel for some reason. I don't know why, because he hasn't done anything wrong and he didn't break any rules. You know, the only thing is that he's kind of arrogant, like royalty, you know? Like he's like the other guy in Black Panther, not Killmonger, not T'Challa, but the other guy that's with the
that big dude. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, the big dude, right? You know, the big dude. He's in the teaser now. You know, like that guy, like a little bit arrogant, a little bit of royalty, but yeah, but like other than that, why is Obafemi a heel? See, it's backwards thinking like that we need to get rid of. Like if
maybe he feels he's better than everyone, so you know.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. It's like if that's the only reason, then people are still gonna like that guy.
Right.
Because entertaining people have always had fans. It's just the way it is.
Comes across as cool. That's the
but
problem.
you could still have a baby face, you know, like that's a traditional baby face. It's just that they don't know how to do it anymore. Nobody does. So anyways,
AEW especially have no idea how to do it, like at all. Like
right.
There's no show me something that's
but I mean but when you're looking at Tony Storm, that's a good example because you're talking about somebody that just started being like her doing that whole, you know, crazy Hollywood person thing was supposed to be a heel. But of course, immediately because it's entertaining, people are like, well, compared to the other shit on this show, I like this. So she becomes a baby face, right? And then, you know, now Marina's always been pretty heelish no matter what. And AEW has been pretty consistent that she's a heel. Literal heels, because she's barefoot. So you can, you know, she's not changing anything.
And what do we hear? We hear a little bit of cheers. And the professor said last week, I like her. I want her to
right.
The finisher is awesome too. Let's be honest, man. It's original as well, man. And the name of it is original too.
Yeah, because you don't know her. That's why. She's got mystique. She's got mystique. She's got something. She's got that silent badass thing going, you know? And so it's just a fact of like, whatever on this bullshit show that these fans have to sit through, if they get anything interesting, they're going to pop for it. They're not even necessarily popping for the person. They pop for furniture. That's part of the problem. We condition
And then
people
they
to cheer for
turn
tables and not actual humans. So
right. It's true. That's weird. Actually, when you put it like that, that is really weird.
yeah. Anyways,
Furniture over people. Wow.
well, here's a couple people. It's Swerve Strickland versus Jet Knight in the main event. MJF's in the luxury seats. I can't call it a luxury box because they couldn't afford a separate room. They just have seats with logos on them, but he looked pretty comfortable. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Hang Person told. Yeah, I don't know what Hang Person told Kevin in the back, but it wasn't the kid's night. It just wasn't the kid's night. Pun intended.
Hey, he lasted quite a long time. Really, I don't like the fact that he did even hang. We Swerve the way he did.
He's
for the most
future.
part.
No, Jimmy, he's the future of AEW. Swerve even said that. So you have to validate a 25-minute match.
I don't mind him. Like, honestly, I actually am a fan of his. But, like, come on, man. Like, let's be real now.
Say it, Jimmy. Say it. You want to say it. Where are we going?
Where are we going with this shit, bro? Where are we going? No. Really doesn't matter.
He's a title holder.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter.
Of these two men in this match that went 25 minutes, one of them has a belt. The other one doesn't. Yeah. He's got a chain, and that doesn't count. So, yeah. Anyways, we see this. This is here for the visuals. It gives people a glimpse of the future. Perhaps it gives Swerve a strong win, kind of. It gives MJF some place to be, and look over it. So, I mean, we're doing some business here with this, but your mileage may vary. Professor, did it work for you?
I mean, could the ops been involved to at least do something and maybe cost Kevin Knight the win? Maybe it could have done it that way to maybe just keep that future streak going with him. Yeah, that's the thing I would say. But then that's just nitpicking, and I'm just trying to keep the story consistent because the ops have problems with horsecock and stuff like that. So do something within this match. It didn't have to be a one-on-one 20 to 25 minute match, but again, it proves the point that Swerve is going to be on. He's targeting MJF, and MJF is scouting all future opponents.
Yep,
they're not worthy, Prof.
And we've got some time too. We got some time for him to scout.
Yeah.
We'll be slowly working our way to Brody King. Okay. Well, that was that. However, we got Collision. And guys, I don't know if you realized this ahead of time, but if you looked at this Collision card on pay-per-view, or it looks like a pay-per-view. Like if you looked at this Collision card on paper, you're like, what the hell? What do we do to deserve this? Right? Now, how it plays out is a different story, but if you're just looking at what they were offering us here, I think it would definitely be like above your normal Saturday night expectations.
Plus, have you noticed, other than like a few normal peeps that are on every show, like Hangman, for example, like for the most part, everyone else, and Willow Nightingale and the women there, but for the most part, they use a different roster for Collision, which I find refreshing for the most part. Are we going to finally get a brand separation here? Do you think they're thinking of going that route, or they're testing the waters? Because they're two different shows now, and Collision, for the most part, has been the better show for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah. Well, if not longer, but I would say for me, I think that's kind of how you should, if you even try to flirt with the idea of doing a brand split, it shouldn't be like a hard split. It should be, you should have a couple people that are going to go, because you want to promote, and you want people to follow your stars, but you should have a different base to give, people fresh matchups and everything to work with. Professor?
I agree with that. Again, maybe because we've been conditioned with the Raw and SmackDown roster splits for the last 20 years or so. So it does work to a degree. And then when you want to do like these super shows, it works itself out on that way. And of course, ROH treated like NXT. It should be developmental for the Jordan Olivers, for the Alex Prices, for anybody else, for the up and comers that you're going to sign up for Tony Khan and stuff like that. The problem with that, Jimmy and Vet, is like everything is all intertwined So if you don't get your TV time on Collision, damn well sure if you play $9.99 for Honor Club, you'll see those guys on Ring of Honor. And then you just go, well, those are because I just remember on the Collision when I was flipping back and forth between this and Saturday night's main event, they did a teaser with Ace Austin. He's been having momentum in the Ring of Honor, but
has
hey,
he? Is that where he's been?
That's what they said. He's been having a lot of momentum in Ring of Honor, guys. But yeah, you paid him to be on Collision. You paid him to be on Dynamite. You paid him to be in the Bang Bang Gang, and then Ace Austin is all just kind of like disappeared on Ring of Honor. That's the thing. You don't do that.
You know what?
If you want to have a set roster for people on Collision, a set roster for people on Dynamite, it works better.
Just quietly before we move on, Ring of Honor now to me is so irrelevant that it's pretty much a zombie promotion. Like really, it's just dead men walking or wrestling in that promotion. And I feel like Ring of Honor is dead and buried right now.
I used to just skip ahead to the Athena stuff.
Right.
And by skipping, I could see everything I wasn't missing.
Yeah, I tried.
And I would highly recommend, if anybody's curious, to use that method. Like, just go, like, if you're interested in checking out Ring of Honor, just skip to the Athena stuff. And I'm sure if you see anything on the way that you feel like stopping, you can, but you probably won't miss anything if you don't. So it just
a hard watch bit.
Yeah.
And that is a great example of somebody who done so much and has nothing left to prove on Ring of Honor that should be rewarded and to be on the main roster to a degree with Dynamite or Collision. That's Athena. Why is she?
Right.
She's had one match and then she went back to Ring of Honor. She's had these one little programs with Mercedes. It goes back down to Ring of Honor.
And did she leave WWE for similar reasons, like for not being utilized on the main roster enough and shit like that? And also the way she dressed, apparently.
If she's happy in Ring of Honor and the way she's being booked and she's the forever champion, then so be it, Jimmy. But again,
forever champion, right?
For branding and marketability, if you want her to be, it's a bad look to be on Ring of Honor when it's not the same Ring of Honor that, like 5 years or even 6 years ago.
No one talks about it, Prof, at all. Do you see on the internet anyone really talking about it? No one talks about Ring of Honor, man.
You proved the point. You proved that point.
It's Tony's fault. We already talked about this in the news portion. We're talking about promotion. We're talking about Australia. We're talking about everything else that he's not doing. And if Ring of Honor is irrelevant, it's his fault. It should be more than a tax write-off or whatever. If you have it, you might as well do something with it, and you might as well better integrate it. I think that, to be honest, I just think we can all like point fingers and we can all speculate. I really think ultimately the problem is just that no matter who it is, there's only so much that a human mind can juggle on a daily basis. You can't keep all this shit. I don't care how much of a statistician you are. I don't care how much of a savant you are. You can't keep all this shit in your head straight and give everything the proper time it deserves. Something is going to have to get sacrificed. And if you're not allocating and what's the word I'm looking for?
Allocating the time and space
delegating. No, if you're not allocating resources and delegating other people, and you're taking on too much responsibility yourself, eventually something's going to slip through the cracks, even if you don't want it to. Like maybe like we were just talking about what the fuck happened to Tony Storm and the Love Bombs, right? Like he might not even realize how it looks to us because he's on the inside thinking about 8 million other things. He's got 8 million other things to think about just in his wrestling company. He's not counting football, and whatever else. Right? So
crazy, man. It's really crazy.
So to him, he might not even realize that the Love Bombs look bad right now because in his mind, he's like, well, I put them in this spot on TV, but he's not thinking about like, oh, but how does that look compared to everything else? How does that look compared to where they were 3 months ago? And so on and so forth. Like no one can keep up with that. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a robot. You can't do it. You've seen what robots can do if you ever ask AI a question. They can't do shit. So imagine a human. They can't do it either. It's just not possible. So I think that's really ultimately what we're seeing. I don't think it's malicious. I just think it's like he's drowning and he's like he's He's struggling to stay above the life preserver.
But he doesn't realize it. That's the thing. He probably thinks he's doing it.
No, I'm sure he realized it, but he's also not going to admit it because he's a PR guy and he's going to say everything's great. And we got a great roster and we got these great shows. And I think 2025 was one of the best years we ever had and all this other stuff. Right. So like but in his mind, when he has no time for anything but himself, he's like, fuck. I know he is. He has to be.
If ever anybody needs to be on the AEW creative team, is Road Dogg Jesse James. He needs to be there. That's what we saw on Unreal. He should just go to AEW and write with Tony Khan.
I don't disagree with you. I don't know. Oh my God. All right. Well, here's what we can all agree on. It's time for Collision, and we're opening up with Hang Person versus Wrestler. Okay?
Yeah.
Nice little back and forth. Nice little back and forth match. But we get a buckshot lariat to close it out, as we knew we would. But if you like this kind of stuff, it's like it was decent. I don't know if you guys how much you guys caught of this flipping between Saturday night's main events and whatnot, but I've seen worse.
Before, so. I watched Saturday night's main event. I was on the watch along personally with Brandon and RBV. And then we did the review show afterwards with Pods. But this was obvious. This is talk about consistency. Hangman's gonna win these type of matches no matter what. And that's exactly what happened.
A Hang Person win equals 2 Jet Speed losses against the odds. So it kind of evens it out.
That's right.
He's the teacher now. Remember that.
Yeah. And there was no other ops here.
Nope.
Like no Hook, no Joe, no Dojo. Just Shibata just out there fighting for his life against this crazy blood drinker.
With a perm, mind you.
Right. And remember Shibata's, his brain, right? Like I was worried. He did the dead eye on the apron spot, which I know it can be a safe spot. But still thinking about Shibata's brain, I was just like, oh, whew, yeah. So yeah, there was a vignette where Don Callis and Ricochet were on a golf course.
This was brilliant, dude. I like it.
And somehow Alex Marvez wandered his way onto this golf course.
And you see what's going on?
What
in
a
the
stalker,
too,
man! Can we get some security to get Marvez away from these guys?
But you see what was happening in the background too?
That's journalism, guys. That's the way it's supposed to be. Go where no one is dared to go.
That's right. Yeah. So, yeah, it was, like I said, I can't recap it. It's one of those things you have to see it. I can't recreate it.
Shenanigans going on in the background too while they were talking,
right?
Which is funny.
And I swore I thought one of the caddies was that bald-headed dude from Dark Order. I was like, wait, is that the bald-headed dude from Dark Order being a caddy now? What I mean,
was
is
it?
this what we're talking about?
That.
No,
it wasn't, but it definitely kind of looked like
right.
Yeah, it was Ricochet's caddy. I didn't recognize him.
A bald caddy for a baldy.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If you're a bald-headed white guy and with a beard, you got to be involved in wrestling somehow, or or caddying, whichever.
And then we see Jake something, formerly known as Jake something, and Mark Davis doing freaking. Who were they hitting in the background there?
I don't know. I assumed it was the other golfers that didn't let him play through.
Yeah, probably. Anyway,
but yeah, they were there. That stuff happened. Well, speaking of white, so Isla Dawn, right?
Oh,
you remember Isla Dawn? Yeah. Guys, she tried to tan. Like her skin, but the thing is, you can't when you're what is she, Scottish, right?
Yeah, very much Scottish. And
you can't do that. You can't tan. It doesn't work. You will turn red in parts. Not even all your parts. She just has red spots on her skin now from the parts where the lamps were on, but she couldn't get a full tan. I don't know why you would want to. She had the look, that milky white skin look. I don't know why she wouldn't go with that, but she tried to tan. And she has a match with Chris Statlander. But here's the thing. Isla Dawn has reunited with her NXT buddies, the Grizzled Young Veterans, Jimmy's favorite tag team.
Go away.
It's basically like your version of FTR is for the Professor.
Yeah.
GYV, FTR,
no.
same thing.
No.
Yeah.
The grizzled young veterans.
Original England,
Get
fake
fucked.
England. Like you see how this stuff goes.
They can get fucked, all of them. Even Isla Dawn, I couldn't care less about it. Straight up, girl, worry about your skin and not getting cancer. All right, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, she didn't have to worry too long about Chris Statlander because she got Saturday Night Fevered here pretty quick. And then Tekla came on screen, and man, she's basically The Rock now.
Bro,
she's just
doesn't
promo
shut the
after
fuck
promo
up.
after promo after
Doesn't
promo.
shut the fuck up. How do we go from not saying nothing for probably a year to just blah, 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 blah? It's like, shut up, please. Like,
They probably
stop,
assumed
enough.
that Spider couldn't speak English, but
Yeah,
it turns out she's actually a human, and that's just a nickname, and she can actually talk.
Well, at least she's not going to the chopper.
Remember, Jimmy, all the criticism that
Yeah.
Tony hears, now he relays it to Tekla. You didn't speak a lot, Tekla. Now speak all the time. That's it.
Just speak. Just keep
Just
speaking.
speak.
Don't stop. Wow.
Yep.
It's crazy. That's bipolar, dude. That's bipolar booking right there. The definition is exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we go from spiders to the jungle because,
Oof.
Little
Jungle Beach.
Brooks Jensen here is cutting a promo on Ricochet and the GOA for taking out his dinosaur friend and making him extinct. He didn't like that. So he's got a knife, and now he's going to have a knife, I guess. Could we see the first
table vet? Like a
can
tough
we?
guy.
Yeah, just it looks like he wants to stick it in Ricochet though.
Ooh.
Remember, Ricochet has scissors.
Ooh,
Brooks Jensen has a knife. So we got weapons. We got a weapons match.
So we're gonna get a stab match for the first time in pro wrestling history. Is that what's
I
happening?
like it. You can put those on a poll.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna get a reenactment of Arn Anderson and fucking Sid Justice.
God.
Sid Vicious. And what was it? What was the animal? A possum? I can't even remember. But anyway,
yeah,
that's brilliant. Scissors and knives.
So, speaking of also brilliant, we could have had Austin and Austin, but we got Austin and Billy.
Yeah, what's up?
Daddy's home.
What's
taking
going
on taking on Proto Sheeta
and Proto
the best buddy tag team reunited.
Yeah.
Now that I was interested in, not for the match, but because again, the overlaying story and the tension between Takeshita and Don Callis. That's what I didn't care about the match. I think it was weather troubles because I guess one of the other people from the Gun Club couldn't make it, whatever the case may be. But I was just more interested in seeing the visuals. I needed to see Takeshita looking pissed off at Don Callis, and he was to a degree. And of course, Kyle Fletcher being the middleman and trying to like be neutral and I love Takeshita, but I still love Don Callis. So again, it plays out right there. And of course, at the end of the match, which really was a feeder match for protest. What is it called? Protoshita? Whatever the case.
Protoshita, I guess. It doesn't roll off the tongue very well.
It don't. But
Protoshita.
But it was beautiful that they had Okada at the end of the match, looking down on his boys, looking down at Don Callis, and
Fletcher holding back Takeshita
with that belt that he hasn't defended, but that international belt. You're right. He doesn't care that he didn't look like he's missing the Continental belt, but again, because he's holding the international belt. But that smile at the end, the smile that he's like, I still got Takeshita. I still got him mad. Yeah, he wants to call him a bitch, Jimmy. You're right, and all that stuff. But again, the dynamic is there. Can we could see, Jimmy? Remember I said weeks ago about somebody leaving the Callis family, but again, can Takeshita convince Fletcher to also leave the Callis family? And I don't want to do the clothesline. I don't want to do the clothesline turn, but again, a clothesline is needed if Fletcher's going to turn on Takeshita and Protoshita.
Well, we'll just have to see what happens. but
Oof.
I don't
Riveting.
know. Yeah, it's man,
This is the only
guys. I guess
story-
we're just got to tune in next week.
Oh
This
my
is the
God.
only story that Tony Khan has done right, and it's riveting. I'm sorry. And this is I'm glazing. I'm glazing, Jimmy. You know this.
You are
I'm
glazing. You're glazing.
I'm glazing.
Well, stop glazing and put the horse cock away. We gotta move on with the show. The demand responds
Oh.
to Jungle Knife Jack, Brooks Jensen. They basically, Ricochet does a promo as only he can do. Obviously, I don't agree with the rest of the IWC that he can't cut a promo. I think he's great. So there you go.
And he apologized about what he did to the extinct dinosaur.
Yeah. He had no idea that it would cause this much of a problem.
Yeah, I don't understand why anyone would, right?
Yeah, it's he was gone for so long anyway,
I know,
his
right.
life-threatening illness is
It's not funny, but it's
I
funny.
got used to him not being around personally, but that's fine.
Well, speaking.
All right, grizzled young veterans.
Again, why, man?
Well, I'm telling you, there's just
The story's not over.
the story's not over. Well, this is just like one of those. It's how would you describe this? It's like the dueling vignette style, where it's like they're both pre-recorded and edited together, but they're like responding to what each other one's is saying. It's like a good. I just call it a dueling vignette. I don't know how else to quite describe it because it's not quite a promo. It's not quite just a regular vignette. It's not quite a package.
It's like a build.
That's
I
too
guess.
vague, though. You're not going to understand what you're talking about if you just say that. So, but what it is, yeah, it's the grizzled young vets in Kingston going back and forth, sort of in pre-recorded manner. They should, what they should have done? Actually, I would like to see them do some more. You remember like the Last Dance or whatever, where they just give Jordan an iPad and he just
No,
like
where you going with
watches
this
and
again?
reacts. They should do that. They should show we should be looking over Kingston's shoulder while he's watching the Grizzly Young Veterans promo, and then he can respond like right there.
That'll be-
This program can go as long as Ortiz's fro keeps growing. The longer the
Well-
Ortiz fro is growing, then we know that this is going to be a great program between the grizzled young veterans and Ortiz and Kingston, because that's how
And
long.
by
it
the
has-
way,
That might be a reason why we didn't see Ortiz, because we're giving it time to grow.
Yes.
Like
maybe
get him off of TV. Professor said he
Also-
doesn't like the fro. Pull him.
Yeah.
Also, is Kingston now got amnesia about Hook? Are we done? Like that's not we're never going there.
Well, Hook never clotheslined him, so it's fine. No heat.
Yeah, I guess. All right, cool. Look, personally, one of my
Right?
friends did that.
Right? Am I right? There was no clothesline. I saw no clothesline. He just came out with another guy one day. That's all.
Oh,
No
that's
heat.
all right. I wasn't really your friend. I was just using you, to find out information.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't do anything bad to you. I'm done. I'm just done with you now. That's all.
Yeah,
He will
that's
remember. He will remember when the time is right, guys. That's that. When the
course.
iPad hits and he's remembered that Hook did something to him, it's just not the right time right now. It's
Right.
all about grizzled young veterans.
Yes,
This is
grizzled.
long-term
He's got to
thing.
deal with the grizzled. Also, I'll give it up to Eddie points. He was wearing a Hajime no Ippo t-shirt, so
He's
If
like
you know, you
always
know.
wearing something Japanese wrestling related anyway.
yeah. Okay, Price and Oliver. Okay, get another match this week. Versus before and after. And actually, this could look like before and after too. Like the whole match could look like before and after. Like you get two guys like this, and look what happens when they put on some size. But instead, it's just obviously another slightly long squash. I'm not gonna say much more than that. Don Callis does a promo. Stokely comes on the screen and rebuts. Says don't believe Don. Yada yada yada. So we're building up to the Davis and Doyle versus the Cashin and Axon. So
Wow,
it's
what
gonna
a
be
match.
it's gonna be an epic barn burner.
A
A lot of hair, a lot of body hair in it.
Yeah, body hair, but no hair on top on some people. So
That's
right.
riveting shit right there, Prof.
Oh, man, so check it out. Darby Allin went to go visit his buddy Bam Margera. They did a
Yeah,
little.
in a skate park too, no less.
Was it a park or was it just somebody's backyard?
I thought
Oh
it was a
well,
skate park.
yeah. It was a
Well,
skate park to me.
there was a half pipe there, but it looked like it was in somebody's house. It didn't look like a whole park.
It
Yeah,
was Bam's
it
house.
was.
It was Bam's house. He's got a skate park.
That's a lot of land, though.
Yeah.
Well, he
He's
made a
got a
lot of money.
gazebo
I mean,
back there too.
that jackass money made a lot, for him. So he's reaping the benefits.
I don't know.
Right.
Good for him, man. And he's
Well,
straight, I
he's
think,
Bam.
too.
Bam's not. He doesn't do stuff with the other jackasses anymore. So he needs another jackass
Better than that.
to hang
Yeah,
out with.
I know.
And so
That's
So
sad,
here's
man,
Darby.
because that's exactly what it makes him look like. A fucking jackass, right? For real.
Yep.
But whatever.
well, whatever.
It's on Darby.
We go from Darby to Dark Julia. Want to hit it again, Jimmy?
Julia.
That sounds like me
Versus
after
Willow
the fight.
Nightingale.
Yay.
Yeah,
How many times they wrestled?
I heard this match more than I saw it. I was definitely
It's for
letting the
TBS.
announcers do their jobs, trying
And
to
it
earn
was
their
for a championship
money.
event.
I know. And a former TBS champion in her own right is Dark Julia, but not
I
able to
forgot.
reclaim it on this night. So I heard the sound of a power bomb and a 3 count. So I guess Willow Nightingale.
And then you heard
Retains?
yeah.
It was
She
a
wins.
straight one. It was a straight one-on-one match. No triangle of madness to interfere. Kind of weird. So again,
That is weird.
I mean, why not? I'm not saying that Julia had to win the TBS belt. I'm just saying, but at least you could accentuate the story. You got Tekla speaking out of her ass all the time. So why couldn't she come out of this ring and do something to help her sister, her dark sister, to try to win and be thwarted by the cosmic babes of wrath and shit like that? But again, it's like in Dynamite, Speedball was all alone by himself. In this match, where you need people to have some combustible elements, you don't do it. You do a straight one-on-one match. They had a Continental Rules match, and it didn't need to be.
I need my schmaz.
Yes,
And we had a
Gotta
few of those
build.
already this week.
Where is my schmaz? All right. Well, anyway, yeah.
You have to watch Saturday night's main event for that one, Vic.
Oh, okay. Well,
The very first
Now I
match
know what
is
to
the
look
longest
forward to.
schmoz- The
Yeah.
longest schmoz in the history of pro wrestling, I'm telling you.
we got a Rumble coming up.
No, that's true.
Did they do that thing? Ding where everybody gets in the ring and starts fighting and they go off the
it
air?
wasn't
Please
like
tell
that.
me
It
they
wasn't
didn't.
like that.
Okay.
No, they didn't. They didn't.
All right. Okay.
There wasn't more than 2 people involved, but it was got to do with the storyline, though.
So, this next part, the Rascals.
Fucking pigs, bro.
Yeah, just eating snacks. There's no way to sugarcoat this. This was awful television. Like, as bad as
Under a bridge.
I don't know. I think it was supposed to be like a blanket fort. The only as bad as the Rascals have always been, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were ripping off a format from a television show. Like they were parodying a television show that existed and was successful. So like, even though they were terrible at it and it wasn't funny at all, at least I could understand, like, oh, I see they're doing just a terrible parody of this. This, what we saw here, with if that is your level of sense of humor, then you guys might as well just all follow Trey Miguel out voluntarily, because it's just there's no place for none of these guys do anything that anybody else, we don't already have 24 guys here that do. Right? And I bet you they can cut better promos than this and be funnier than this.
But we had paper, rock, and scissors instead, though, Vet.
Oh, well.
At least.
That's nothing compared to knife and scissors.
That too. But at least, Vet, what you're talking about with what they did in TNA and making light of 70 show. At least they were in the clubhouse. At least you saw smoke coming out. What do I guess is that trademark or something for TNA? Because now all you see is Cheetos and Dorito bags. They can't do anything, or they can't open their locker room door and smoke comes out religiously, and then they can just talk about their problem. But at least that's their thing, Jimmy. I'm not saying that, but to be slobs, or at least maybe play a video game while they're doing a promo or something like that. It looks so lazy, even for the Rascals. And again, I don't want to compare, but the TNA stuff, the production quality was better than this bullshit. Trey Miguel did the right thing. Trey Miguel did the right thing. It went back.
Yeah, that's one news item we didn't talk about.
But I thought,
but might as well now, right? So
let's do it.
Long story short, Trey Miguel got canceled, so he's back in TNA already. Now,
I can't believe they actually re-signed him too.
Well, apparently, listen.
Tune in to Impact. He might get fired with that briefcase.
Right. Okay. He signed a deal just to get fired. That would be great. How good would that? I would love that, actually.
Imagine
I would love that.
Wow.
But it's so on the nose, there's no way they're going to do it, right? So
he can get fired and then be in a mask and be the hometown dude or something like
hometown dude. And then he could form a tag team with the hometown man. And then I see what you're saying. Okay, good. Yeah, great. So, but like I said before, it's just as well that this happened because, Trey Miguel is very much like we have Ricochet at home, and we already have the real Ricochet here at home. We literally have Ricochet, so we don't need the shorter, less talented, less charismatic guy, who's also a bigot apparently. Whatever, I don't know, but the most entertaining thing Trey Miguel ever did was on TNA. He has this entrance where there's like spray, there's like graffiti on his entrance on the screen, and he tries to like pantomime the spray can and like to time it so it looks like he's drawing his entrance picture.
Cool.
But the best part of the Impact Attack every week was Brandon and I were watching him try to do it, and he was always out of sync with it. And he just was never able to be in sync with his own entrance. So we just laughed about him for that. That was the most entertainment Trey Miguel ever provided. So doesn't really matter, but, yeah, so he apparently got released in very much the same way, and probably because of the same person that wouldn't let Jay Briscoe and the Briscoes on TV because of old tweets.
You think so? It seems like.
How else can you explain it? How else can you explain it?
No, you're right. I mean, who could it be? It's going to be the network.
You sign your contract and get released out of your contract because of, as Brian Alvarez stated, someone higher up. So that sounds like one other thing that happened before. And I'm basically in the same boat of like, as Jim Cornette so said it, like, how does anybody in the fuck, how does anybody on earth know who the fuck this guy is? So I don't understand, but there must be a wrestling mark somewhere in Warner Brothers Discovery that's like, oh no, not this guy.
Well, clearly,
even though Zachary Wentz was literally the guy with the Hitler picture and was accused of beating up his girlfriend, whether he did or not.
I think it's easier. I think it's just sickos tweet who they like, and sickos tweet to Tony Khan. We don't like that
too, man.
Absolutely. I think it's that easy, and I think Tony Khan makes it so like maybe he influences those dirt sheets. Maybe he influences those Fightfuls and Dave Meltzer to say it's the higher ups.
Well, did you see him? He accepted Fightful's awards this week.
Yeah,
like a freaking marked card.
What a trade off! Thank you, Fightful, for Booker of the Year. Thank you.
Unbelievable.
And also, make sure you say it's the higher ups of WBD.
And on top of that, I don't know where they were, but they were at some stadium, some sort of concert where Swerve and freaking Garcia were doing a dance off. Did you guys see that?
Thank God I didn't. I'll be like,
I saw it and I'm like, wow.
Keep it cake, man.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? Let's just move on. Let's talk about the best part of Collision, Andrade. Come on.
Oh wait, you're missing Windsor.
Oh yeah, sorry, I skipped that. Yeah, apparently Windsor and Hater are going to be a team.
And I gave him a name, guys. I tweeted.
You did.
I tweeted Josh. I said I call him Winter. That was it.
Winter.
Winter.
He's coming all over your faces. No.
Yeah, horse cock. All right. Anyway, yeah, that was yes, very cinematic. You know, apparently somebody thought, you know, they're gonna submit this to the Academy. I don't know if the deadline is. I think they already announced the nominees, so it's too late. Whoever you are, I don't think your short film is going to get nominated. But yeah, very very cinematic tag team tease here. All right. Anyway, again, forget that. Andrade versus Magnus. So they kept pronouncing it. Oh, by the no, not Nick Aldis. No, not Muhammad Hassan from OVW. No, another guy named Magnus. Magnus. And I forgot to mention that Paul White was on commentary the whole night, right? Whoa. So it's just funny hearing him do his commentary and having to say Magnus with a straight face, Magnus. I guess. Yeah.
It's like Magnus.
Yeah. So yeah, but Andrade here, not only, okay, let's quickly talk about the match itself. The match itself showed like the vast gulf between, yeah, that's with a Y, by the way, Brian Dunlop, WYNTER. The vast gulf between a real top guy and just some fucking luchador. Like when you see in this match, like, Magnus is not even in the same stratosphere as Andrade as a performer, not in charisma, not in motion, probably not in regular breathing. He's just terrible. Like he's got and he looks ridiculous because he has a pink mask. But you know how guys like Penta, they have like makeup on, like, so he wears a black mask and then he does the black makeup around the eyes, you know, to kind of go with the mask, right? And this Magnus guy has like pink makeup around the mouth and lips and stuff because he's got one of those masks that has this part cut out. So he's a bottom part of his face pink. Oh my God. But that's just one little thing, you know, neither here nor there. But everything else about him compared to Andrade, this is ridiculous. I haven't seen like a presentation mismatch like this since AJ Styles versus James Ellsworth. So to give you an idea, and you know, even though Magnus compared to James Ellsworth looks like Batista, but that's beside the point. The point is, that's one level of this. The other level of this is Andrade taking this glorified, drawn out, multiple commercial break squash match and actually having some fun with it. Like, he goes outside the ring. Apparently he's single and ready to mingle because he takes a selfie with some chick in the front row and puts his number in her phone.
What the fuck? Is he Gaza now? Is that what's going on?
Apparently. He also is like wrestling in a t-shirt, right? So before Kevin Nash can say anything, the fans are chanting for him to like take off the shirt, and he rips the shirt off, right? But that's not good enough. He does one better. Eric, off come the pants, right? So
and I'm thinking, why is he wrestling in those pants for this long? And then he finally reveals trunks. What the hell's going on here?
Remember,
he normally wrestles in pants.
Remember, this was a double taping. This was a double taping, guys, of Dynamite and Collision. So you got dudes that were, you know, once they heard horse cock on Dynamite, you got to take the shirt off. So Andrade gave the people what they wanted, and the pants too.
Well, how did he know? Because think about it. He goes out there in a t-shirt. Did he know they were just going to chant at him to take the shirt off? Like, what, you know? But that's what I mean. When you're that guy,
could he become?
You could make something out of nothing like this. This match was a nothing match. He had to carry this guy for an ungodly length of time, and so he made something out of it. Yeah, he got it. This is how you get over. So there you go. So he
By
got
the way,
his strip.
he also wrestled my boy Ricky Sosa. Have you ever heard of Ricky Sosa? Yeah, check him out.
All right,
Come
Jimmy's
on,
trying to
get the best entrance in indie wrestling, bro. Come on.
All right, yeah, well,
Bang,
maybe.
bang. Sosa. You even going smash, which made me laugh on your stream.
Jimmy wants to try his hand at scouting talent. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to be outdone by me with all my talent scouting.
Hey,
so he wants to scout his own talent.
They wrestle each other too, by the way.
Yeah. So anyway, this match happens. He wins. He cuts a promo afterwards. After another commercial break, and says that he wants that title, and swerves in the way. So yeah, I'll see you Wednesday. Okay.
I'll see you Wednesday. His eyes full bulging. I'm like, what the hell?
I didn't know unfinished business meant the AEW world title. I thought unfinished business meant Kenny Omega, but I just want consistency. No. I just want consistency.
Well, he kind of well, that's the thing, Professor. He kind of took care of that business back then. It's just that he had to go away. But on his end, he took care of it, right? It would be Kenny that has unfinished business with him, right? You would think.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of unfinished business, this business needs to get finished. It took forever. It's the main event. It's two white guys fighting for the CMLL championship, of course. Roderick Strong Orange in his corner versus Claudio with Yuta in his corner. Hey, it's a Ring of Honor main event from 15 years ago. Longer, maybe.
It was.
Yeah, so congratulations to these guys. Obviously, Claudio's not dropping the belt to Roderick Strong here on a random collision, but it did take forever. And if you can imagine what these two guys in your mind without seeing the match, yes, that was it. What you just pictured in your mind is what happened on the television. So
that's brilliant.
Very good.
He's not lying.
And Moxley on commentary was just even better. That's all I will say.
He was baby facing it again.
Yep. Yeah, Moxley and Paul White clearly having fun with this. But that's it.
Shit.
That's it, guys. That was Collision.
Yeah.
If
I got a few cuts and bruises after that.
If this was Death Before Dishonor 2015, that's right. This would be the main event.
100%. There's no ifs or buts about it. He's spot on. It really is a Ring of Honor main event. But we still in AEW, so no less. Even though there is a Ring of Honor. Well, that was a ride. I actually enjoyed this ride because I felt like this week was kind of meh compared to previous weeks, unfortunately. But still, it's we can have a laugh and entertain ourselves talking about it, and that's all that matters. And as long as we can entertain all of y'all, is also what matters. But in saying that, boys, I guess it's time to take it home. Vet, are you streaming today? Are you going right onto the Twitch right after we get out of here?
Maybe eventually. But you can catch me there and everywhere else at Opinion Haver. Just search for Opinion Haver and you can find me. You can catch me on the HMG shows I do, and you can watch all the shows I normally tell you to watch. So go right ahead and do it.
Yeah, featuring also the Impact Attack. Go check that out. Obviously, Mondays, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And also go and check out the Next Level Review Show with, of course, the best in the world, the Vet and Big Ray Hernandez. And is there anything else I'm missing for you there? Or should I even... Here we go.
I mean, if I knew you were just going to do it all anyway, I wouldn't have gave you the short version.
Wow. I was expecting you to say that. And also Limping and Easy. But I don't remember the days like you do, Vet.
Yeah, it's fine. All you have to do is like and subscribe to each one of those and click the notification bell. And then whenever they come on, you will know. And you won't need me to tell you every week.
That's true. Well, Prof, what's the latest in the Pro Wrestling Reflection? Which I already know what the latest is. But tell everybody else what it is.
Well, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe on the YouTube at Pro Wrestling Reflection, where we just dropped a Pro Wrestling Spotlight. We kind of dissected in 1995 the anti-hardcore gimmick of Cactus Jack. Ray did a better justice of that one, but it was a spotlight on Mick Foley. of 1995, Mr. Anti-Hardcore. So we delved into that gimmick and kind of like intersected between, his frustrations with the ECW fans and today's frustration that William Regal had with the wrestlers today. So it was a very interesting discussion between myself and the Tommy Wonder.
And by the way, that's not the real thumbnail. I don't have it here for some reason, but that popped me when Ray showed that. I was like, oh, that's brilliant. But by the way, the real thumbnail is actually even better, for real. As far as I go check out the Smack Attack with myself and R to the B to the V with our special guest, John Paz, from the two-man wrestling. Why have I gone blank, Vet? I've gone
Two-man
power trip. Yeah, that's it. The two-man power trip. I don't know
Labby
why I went blank
Margolin.
there. Yeah, well, not anymore. Actually, I think. Yeah, it's only him now. As a matter of fact,
One-man power trip?
well, no, Jericho told him, see the guest. This is funny because he said this. Because he's actually, talking to someone else, he is the two-man power trip with the guest. So there you have it.
Oh.
That's according to Jericho. Whether that makes sense, I don't know. But that's what he told us. So, yeah, go check that out. That was a brilliant show where we talk about all sorts of things on the Smack Attack. And, of course, check out every Tuesday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern, for I Like a Raw, your Raw wrestling review show with myself and, of course, Big Ray Hernandez. Don't miss that. And, the Wreckage, of course, every Sundays, 11 a.m. Eastern, right here on Humming Media Group's YouTube channel. So don't miss that, of course. And that's about it. And also, if you want to follow me on the Twitter, you can at the PWC Network. I should probably change that at Humming Media Group at this point, because, the PWC Network just doesn't really exist anymore. So we'll see what I do there. But in saying that, I am Jimmy T. He is my co-host, the best in the world, Jamie the Vet Williams. And here is our co-host, the magnanimous and the glorious Professor Chabelo Vera Cruz. And you've been listening and watching the
Wreckage.
Boy.
Until next time, peace out, and we'll see you soon. Bye.